Hello everybody, and it's time for another video. We go back with Algebra 2 topics today, and we're talking about rational expressions and properties of rational expressions. In the last video, I covered I talked about a few things where I said if you have studied up to Algebra 2 in this point, like how to deal with exponents when you're multiplying or dividing them, and I figured I should probably explain that. I should have done that first, but I didn't. So that's what I'm going to do today. So without further ado, let's move on to rational exponents. Okay, what did I put up here? Whoop. Expressions. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so there's a number of different things you do. Before we get into how to multiply and divide rational expressions and exponents, we need to know how to convert them between exponents and rational expressions, basically, if that makes any sense. So what we're going to do first, we're going to change the following exponential expression into a rational expression. Okay, we have t to the 3/4 power. Okay, so when you have this, it would help if I wasn't using black. Okay, when you have an equation like this one, and you want to change it from an exponential expression to a rational expression, this is how you got to visualize it. Okay, you've got your variable or your constant. Okay, then you have your exponent. You've got 3/4. The denominator, this 4 here, stays the same. So we're going to have 4 there. But you've got a 3 up here, which means you have 3 of these. Okay, to the 1/4 times the t to the 1/4. That is really bad drawing, but you get the picture. There's 3 t to 1/4s that are all multiplied together to get you this expression here of t to the 3/4 power. Once you visualize that, you can then take it and you can change this into this. Okay, we're just going to take our radical. We're going to put our constant inside. And what we're going to do, because we're going to work with this first, we're going to work with this section first, okay, to help you visualize. You're going to take the exponent on top of the fraction and put it here. Give that exponent to the t in your radical. If it's a 1, which it will almost always be, you don't have to put it. It just helps you to visualize. Regardless, then you take the denominator and you put that out here. Okay, so we got that times the same thing 3 times over. One, 4. Okay, and that simplified version of this is simply this. Okay, and then use that, because what you're really doing is you're putting a radical sign over this t here. Okay, putting a radical sign over it and bringing the top exponent in the fraction here and taking the denominator and putting it on the outside. That's all you're doing. Okay, the same thing exists with it when you have a constant rather, as well as a variable, except it's a little bit different. Okay, what we're going to do with this, okay, let me rewrite it here so we don't mess with the original equation. Okay, that's not a 4. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut it off right there and deal with this first. Okay, just the x to the 4/5 power. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did up here. I'm not going to go through all the steps because you can see what I did up here. Okay, don't need to go through the steps again. And now, what we do now, okay, is we just come to the end here. We got our radical. We put x in the inside. Take our top exponent, our numerator of the exponent, put it there. Take the denominator and put it there. Simple. But now you're wondering, what do we do with this 6? Okay, when you have a constant that's attached to the variable, it does not go inside the rational expression, okay? It goes outside. It goes here. I drew that badly. Okay, the 5 stays there. X, 4. You just put it here. Just outside the rational expression. Okay, so that's going to be your final answer. 6, and then there's the rational expression of 5 radical x to the 4th. Okay, the final one we have on this screen is change the following rational expression to an exponential expression, rather. It's backwards of what we're doing here. We're just going to take this 5 radical x to the 3rd. Pretty sure that's how it's spoken. We're going to take this and we're going to turn it into that, or better yet, that. What we're going to do is we're going to just do the same thing in reverse. Okay? If you want to visualize it, we would go, so we'd start with this, and then go to that, and finally end up with that. Okay? So we would have 5x to the 1st times radical and 5x to the 1st times 5, if this wants to work. That didn't work. Radical x to the 1st. Thank you. Okay, and that just gives you this. Okay, you got your you got your variable, which will always be right here at the bottom. Okay, then you take your exponent that was inside the radical, make it the numerator of an exponential fraction. You take this number, if my mouse wants to work, and you make it the denominator of this fraction. Why is my mouse not working tonight? I don't know why it's not working today. Oh my gosh, what is going on? 5. Thank you. Good gracious. That's going to be your final answer when making it into an exponential expression from a radical expression. Okay. Then I have over here the next step. Okay. Instead of just rewriting these, now we're actually doing something to them. We're changing it up basically. Okay. So the first equation I have here is to simplify the following rational expression. We have 3 radical 2 times 3 radical 3. Okay. Now the first thing you need to notice is that, let's run it. These numbers here outside the radical are the same. They're both the same. Okay. So they're going to stay the same. There are 2 answers to this. Okay. You can leave it as a radical expression, which is what is assumed you would do, because it's not asking you anything different, or you can change. You can go all the way and turn it into an exponential expression. Okay, this is what we do. We just drop everything except for this first. What the crud is going on? I don't understand why this is messing up so much. I don't understand why this isn't working. I really don't understand what's going on here. You have 2 times 3 is what I'm trying to get at. 2 times 3. That's what you get. You take this, use this, and you solve for that first. 2 times 3 is, of course, going to be 6. 6. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a radical sign here, because that's what's assumed what you're going to do with this. You're going to put your 6 here. Now, since neither of these have an exponent inside the radical, there isn't going to be one over here. But what you are going to do is you're going to take these 3's and put it over here. See that? Now, you have 3 radical 6. You just multiply. All you did was create a new radical with the same exponent and multiply the 2 numbers that were inside the original 2. That's all you did. Down here, this next one says simplify the following exponential expression. Okay. What you do with this one Okay, the easiest way to solve this, okay, what we're going to do first, we're going to change it into a radical expression, and then if you want to go one step further, you can actually solve. But what we're going to do is this. We are going to take we're just going to take our radical, okay, take our radical. I'm trying to do this with a trackpad now, and it's not any easier, I gotta say. This is not working at all. Take our radical and stick our 9 in, because that's just going to be there. There's no variable like there was in these equations, like this one. There's no it's only one constant instead of two different things. Okay, two different variables, constants, whatever. There's only one. It's going in there. Then we're going to do the same thing we did with t. First problem, we're going to take this. We know that the 1 up here is supposed to go inside here. So this is 9 to the first. Okay, and then the 2 goes out here. So there it is. It's just an exponent of 2 to the radical of 9. Okay, if you want to go one step further, most calculators have a button that looks sorta like this. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Most of them have a button that looks sorta like that. If you press that button, or shift, press the second button and then that, which mine does, you'll be able to put in a number for here and here. You can just put in 2 up here and a 9 here, and it'll give you your final answer of 3, which is the second square root of 9 is 3. That's if you want to go one step further, but under normal circumstances, this will be your answer. That is not what I want to do. Okay, finally, down here, I have another exponential expression, excuse me. And this one is different because it's got a number, it's a fraction, first off, and second off, it's got its own exponential fraction on top of that for each side. Okay, this looks big and scary, but let's break it down some. If you remember from the last video, when we talked about it, when you're dividing exponents, excuse me, you're just subtracting them. So that's really is just, if I could draw, r to the 6/7th. Oh my gosh, I don't know why this is not working. 6/7th. Oh my gosh, I'm really getting angry now. I gotta figure out what's going on. Minus 2/7, of course. 2/7. That's what this big scary thing comes out to. And now, it's just subtraction of the numerators, because the denominators are the same with this 7. Okay? And this just goes down to become r to the 4/7, because the denominator stays. And now, if you want to change it from an exponential expression to a radical expression, you have everything you need. From all the examples we've shown already, you can take this here and turn it very easily, mind you, into, if I can make a decent symbol. Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough. Make it nice and easy into this, and that would be your final answer. Right there. Pretty easy. Really easy stuff. Once you figure out where each side of the fraction is supposed to go. Okay. Just to recap, the numerator goes inside the radical, and the denominator stays outside. Numerator inside, denominator outside. Hope this helped you guys, and if you need any help with any topic in particular, leave a comment, and I'll try my best to help you out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
You're a
no
noob.
faith in me at all.
Nope.